Hi there, folks. This is your bartender, Daniel Carter at Cocktail Compass. Thank you for joining me for my Sunday Sips and Reflect. Having a nice little cocktail. It's a Fitzgerald. Love it. So delicious. Mm. This series is all about my musings from the week. So I want to share them with you. So this week, I led a guided meditation for a group. And what kind of came from it was a conversation surrounding self love. That's a fascinating concept because a lot of what we're taught here in the US, um, but even especially here in Utah, where I've grown up and I currently live, there's a lot of focus on loving others, but not that focus on loving yourself. That's It's such a fascinating thing because when you love others, when you're giving that energy out to other people, it is a depleting act. But when you're giving love to yourself, when there's self love, interestingly enough, it is a nourishing or building act. Now, thinking into this a little bit, what I mean by this is that self love, it's the acceptance of wholeness, it's the acceptance of the whole self. And that's the shadow self along with your actual conscious self. So you have your conscious and your subconscious. Being able to love the whole of that, the whole of self, the whole of thought, the whole of being. The thing is when you can actually have that full acceptance, you no longer are wasting all this energy, all this power on keeping those things down that you feel shame or grief or um, embarrassment about. And that's huge when you're able to release those bindings on these parts of yourself that you have been taught and come to accept as being unacceptable. When you can release those and actually accept the wholeness of self, love the fullness of self, you get back an incredible amount of power and energy. Hmm. You're able to step into the world, into relationships, into interactions, into introspection with more stability, support, and honestly, with more love. So here's the thing, by being able to come to love the wholeness of self, honestly love the wholeness of self, you unlock an ever flowing fountain of energy and of love. By being able to honestly and truly love the fullness of self, you are able to love fully and honestly those around you. You're able to have love, like actual love. And this is one of the things that I think is a tough one, is because we're taught, well, love is sacrificing for others. It's giving to others, sacrificing yourself, all of this. But that is presentational in nature. I've seen people gain a lot of resentment for that. I've seen people give away the wholeness of their lives, the wholeness of their character, to having this image of always giving and always sacrificing, so that other people will say what a good job they are doing, so that they will get that external validation from people. But it's not a sustainable practice in that regard, because you constantly have to be replenishing those energy stores somehow. But by coming into a fullness of self-love, That's incredible, because then you can give fully to all those around you. When you interact in love, it is a different flavor, it's a different flow. People say, you're interacting with me in a love that I don't quite understand, but I want more of it. How do I have that for myself? Also, within this self love, by building this, it helps us show up for ourselves. It helps us be able to say, this relationship is not a healthy relationship, or this is an abusive relationship, or I really am not gaining anything from interacting with this person, or this person is using it. It creates an actual radar to be able to understand the flow of things around you, and to say, I can still love you and not wish to have you as part of my flow, part of my life, because I love myself and I care for myself, and I do not have to abandon myself in order to love you. I also do not have to have you in my life in order to love you and in order to be whole and full. So it's a fascinating flow down that river of, do you love yourself? And I don't mean, are you proud of yourself? Do you actually love yourself? Care about yourself? Do you show up for yourself? Do you love the wholeness, shadow, and conscious, that whole self? It's a good question to ask, but it's a beautiful thing to dive down into. Anyway, thank you for joining me for Sips and Reflect here on this lovely Sunday. Such a good drink.